I found it interesting to watch this fusion, and it's kind of always been there, called the Christian right in the United States, but it's gone on to another level, this fusion of right-wing politics and Christianity. And I've kind of shaken my head a few times when I've seen people in the so-called alternative media who are pushing Christianity and even converting to the Roman Catholic Church. And the reason that I found it strange is because the whole history of the Roman Church is one of imposing, often brutally and horrifically, the belief system of the Roman Church. Look through history and see all the places that the Roman Catholic Church moved into and completely took over while doing horrific things to so-called blasphemers that didn't believe what the Roman Catholic Church was telling them to believe. Now, the reason that's bewildering in terms of the alternative media is they are saying we must have freedom of speech. We must have freedom of thought. We must have freedom in general. Okay, good, yeah, with you. But you convert to a Roman Catholic Church whose whole history is one of not doing that. In fact, not doing it, like I say, horrifically. But there's another angle to this as well. So you have the Old Testament and the New Testament, and the New Testament has been written, I say precisely for this reason, to appear to be an outgrowth of the Old Testament. So there's lots of connections between the two in the way the books are written. And also, let's not forget, the Quran and Islam also agrees with a lot of the characters in the New Testament and the Old Testament. So these so-called Abrahamic religions, who believe in the patriarch Abraham, I don't, and I explain in the roadmap why that is, with evidence, by the way. They believe a lot of things that basically cross-reference. But the key is the connection between the Old Testament and the New Testament, Judaism and Christianity. So we talk about a Judeo-Christian society. And I hear these Christian MAGA media people talk about they must support Israel, or there is obviously some big historic connection between Jewish people and the land of Israel. And what is that based on? It's based on the Old Testament writings. And it's basically only based on that. So then you say to them, who wrote the Old Testament? Glazed look. And what I show in the roadmap is that they were fables. that have gone on through thousands of years into the modern world and are still dictating the direction and what people think about the Jewish people's right to the land of Israel. And when you look at the number of people in the Jewish community who are in full knowledge involved in this manipulation, it's tiny. Most of them are not. And even if you took Jewish people in general, it's a tiny, tiny number of Jewish people in the world compared with the 8 billion. Tiny. So there has to be gathered another constituency of people who support what those running Israel, as opposed to Jewish people in general, want to do, want to happen. And this fusion of the Old Testament and the New, both accepted by Christianity, is the perfect vehicle. So you want as many people as possible to use the Christian religion, I'm talking about Christian Zionists, etc., use the Christian religion to support what Israel is doing. Why are you supporting what Israel does? Oh, well, it's in the Bible. Written by who? So one of the reasons, major reason, why there is this big Christian revival, particularly in the United States, and particularly in the kind of arena of what we call MAGA, is because the more people that take that belief system, because of this Old Testament, New Testament fusion, the more people are likely to support Israel, right or wrong. And as I've explained in my books in great detail many times, Israel is not even controlled by genuine Jewish people, but people who are claiming to be Jewish, claiming to have a historical connection to the Old Testament Jewish people. But how can I put this? Don't.
The influence of the new form of organization and training, as well as initiatory techniques of the assassins upon later societies, has been remarked by a number of students, and I have found in my research that it's absolutely true, that the Crusaders knew a good deal about the Ishmaelis, as shown from the detailed descriptions of them which survive. Esh Amir Ali, an Orientalist of considerable repute, goes further in his assessment. Quote, "From the Ishmaelis, the Crusaders borrowed the conception which led to the formation of all the secret societies, religious and secular, of Europe. The institutions of Templars and Hospitallers, the Society of Jesus, founded by Ignatius Loyola, composed by a body of men whose devotion to their cause can hardly be surpassed in our time. The ferocious Dominicans, the milder Franciscans, may all be traced either to Cairo or to Alamut. The Knights Templar, especially, with their system of Grand Masters, Grand Priors, and religious devotees, and their degrees of initiation, bear the strongest analogy to the Eastern Ishmaelis."
We've got the Pope under control. That happened in the Middle Ages.